Good afternoon, everybody. MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video is Overcoming Mistakes in Sports Betting. Super excited about this video. We're going to talk about the fact that you will make mistakes regardless if you're just starting out, if you're a veteran, you've been doing this for 20 years, or for one day, you're going to make mistakes in this business, how to overcome those mistakes. And I'm also going to share some mistakes I made this past week handicapping Major League Baseball. As always, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. If you find value in this video, I also appreciate you giving it a like as well. If you follow me on social media, I'm MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. I give out a ton of content on Instagram, my storyline, things I don't normally make a video about. Maybe it's line movement, maybe even a potential play. Sometimes post that on social. So you get a lot of value simply by subscribing to the channel, which is free, and follow me on Instagram, which is free as well. All right, so let's dive into this video. Very important point to make. In sports betting, you will make mistakes. Why is that? This is no different than any other thing that's difficult. For example, golf is a very difficult sport. If you don't watch golf, I encourage you to just watch maybe 30 minutes of it on a Sunday or a Saturday on TV. Professional golfers make mistakes all the time, but they overcome those mistakes and make really good recovery shots. Sports betting is the same way. This is a very difficult business. I've talked about this before. There's only 2% of the people that wager on sports turn a profit long term. We've had one losing season in my 8-year career, so very proud of that, but it's still difficult. So if you get to the professional level, you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. But the most important thing when you make those mistakes is you have to acknowledge it. And generally what I call a mistake is what we call after the smoke is cleared. You're not emotionally attached to that play. You can look at it very objectively and say, hey, that was a bad wager, that was a mistake. So we're going to talk about a few mistakes I made and things that I could do to correct those mistakes. So let's dive right into this, and let's look at, this is just, 4 days ago from 6/25. Just a brief background of how I'm handicapping Major League Baseball. I'm playing 2 plays per day. That's in order to take the variance out. So I already know the worst case scenario. I'm going to lose those 2 plays. That's the worst thing that can happen. So we lower our volume. That's going to keep the variance down. So that's been my focus, to play 2 plays per day. So let's take a look at June 25th. This is what I send to clients. This is a first cut, basically plays with value. Now you see that there on 6/25, I played the Dodgers. That was what I actually played, and that's all I played. Okay. So let's take a look at that particular day. 6/25. This is it right here. Dodgers. That was a good play. Dodgers ended up losing that one 3-5. But here's the mistake that I made. I got out of my normal routine. I should have played another play on top of that. I was leaning on Seattle and didn't play it. I have to go back and look at my notes as to why, but I should have played that play. Why? Because I'm having success playing 2 plays per day, and look what would have happened had I played that Seattle game. Seattle would have won, and it would have been a profitable day. Seattle was getting anywhere from +116 to +124. So the mistake I made was getting out of my routine, right? If I'm going to commit to playing 2 plays per day, I should have actually played that Seattle play, right? And again, that would have helped me with the variance, because if you lose that first one, more than likely, or pretty high chance that if your handicapping is good, and it has been, that should be close to a winning play, and it was. So the mistake there was I got out of my routine. So again, if you make a mistake, nothing wrong with it. Acknowledge it, and then ask yourself what you could do to improve to overcome that mistake. All right, so let's take a look at, and this is a very similar error. This was 2 nights ago. Our first 2 plays, we played Texas -1.5, +120, and then we played Boston +169 on 6/27. So let's go back and look at 6/27 here, which was this past Monday. Okay, so the Texas, first off, the Boston play lost, right? Good value Boston. I like that play. Felt like they were overvaluing Toronto, so that really wasn't the issue. Good play, good value there. They lost. Texas won. They covered on the run line, but here comes the mistake. You'll see I ended up adding this Dodgers play. So again, I'm playing 3 plays instead of 2. I really like this Dodgers play. The only thing we had going against us was the fact they were fatigued a little bit, traveling across country. I think they played Atlanta the night before. We had line movement, we had value, we had all those things, but I got away from my routine and played that. So, of course, what ends up happening more times than not when you make a mistake in sports betting, you end up paying for it, right? So, Dodgers lost that one. Now, when you look at this, you can see here, if I would have stuck to my routine, just played those 2 plays, not added the Dodger play, look what would have happened. We lose the Boston play. They were plus 169, so that's basically minus 100. But we won the Texas game on the run line, so that was plus 120. So that was a profitable day. And just getting out of my routine. So that was basically 2 mistakes I made, simply getting out of my routine and doing what's made me successful this month, handicapping baseball. So it's very important for me to have a routine. Don't steer away from that. And so that was a mistake, 2 mistakes that I made there. So it's important just to sort of review. If you make mistakes, or let's just say this, you're going to make mistakes in this business. So don't beat yourself up. If you're just starting out, you're probably going to make more mistakes than, say, a Sharp or somebody who's been doing this for a long period of time. That's true of anybody. If you just start a new job or if you start anything new, you're going to struggle at it and make mistakes. But be man enough to admit, okay, this was a mistake. How could I improve on this? And more times than not, you'll see, like what I've showed you, these 2 examples, you're making a process mistake, meaning you're getting away from what's made you successful. So, and then to sort of sum all this up, if you take a look at this particular month, even with those mistakes, and again, I made several more. I don't want to bog this video down, but there's several plays in here that I felt like in retrospect I made a couple mistakes on. But that being said, if you go back and look at this month, Major League Baseball, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we had 21 wins, 14 losses. That's 60%. So the point I want to make is, even making those 2 mistakes I showed you, plus there's probably maybe about 3 other mistakes I felt like I made for this month, still hit 60%, had a really good month. So just remember that each day, if you feel like, oh, I've made some mistakes, you can recover from that and still have a good month, a good year, etc. So don't be afraid to criticize yourself. Don't beat yourself up because you have another day. You can recover, just like we talked about in golf. PGA Tour player, let's say they tee off, hit the ball in the woods, terrible tee shot. They hit a terrible approach shot, maybe an average chip. They got a 20-foot putt for par, they make the par. So you can recover even making mistakes, and just understand that you are going to make mistakes in sports betting. That being said, if you want access to my power rankings, having a really solid lot of success with this Major League Baseball model since we switched to the quote new model. You get access to that, $49.95 per month. That includes all of my coaching videos. Just dropped 2 coaching videos here in the last 2 days. So you get access to all of those and the ones that are in the archive as well. If you want access to everything I just mentioned, in addition to all my plays for all sports, that's $99 per month. And if you want to join for the year, that is the best value. Instead of paying, if you add that 99 up times 12, that would be basically $1,200. Cut that in half, more than half, and you can join for an entire year for $4.99. That gives you access to everything on the entire site. Hope this video helps. Again, if you make mistakes, don't beat yourself up. Just recover from them. Stick to a process, and you'll be far more successful that way. Peace. Hope you guys have a good one. Talk to you soon. Peace.